As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea. Parisian spring fashion reminds me why I love this city. I recognize the name Sasha from the charges listed in Henri's credit card letter. Tony's Brasserie. Looked expensive. At the end of the road, I could see the magnificent Bois de Boulogne. Paris sure had a lot of similar-looking cafes. It was the door to Henri's. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked.
Yes, who is it?
Excuse me, madame. This is George Stobart. Could I talk to you?
George, what?
George Stobart, madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, did they have all this? I don't want to buy insurance.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you? This isn't a good time. I am so distraught.
Madame, Right. Now that hadn't achieved much. It was the door to... I decided that using the buzzer would make more sense than attempting to dismantle the door. There was an intercom. That wouldn't work. That... It would have been pointless to call Miko. Mr. Rickenbacker? I found a piece of paper that shows Henri went against my recommendations for security.
And?
I guess I'm just wondering why.
Well, you're on the case, Stobart. Just find out where that painting's gone.
I decided not to call... The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security. The aircon went nicely with the Art Deco detail. The stall was a myriad of retro kitsch. Bottle stoppers, keychains, musical cards. Hi! I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Vera's security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank you. The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners. Used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing. I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. The sign looked pretty sad. The buzzing and flashing has stopped.
And I am very grateful. But the sign still looks pretty terrible, doesn't it? When you're building a brand from the ground up, name is everything. I need a name that makes my customers long for adventure and treasures from faraway places.
I could take a look at your sign.
You are like a...
Tell me about your business idea.
This stall is going to put me through college while giving me field experience. But the nonsense sign is working against me. It should spell a name for my shop. I need something original, yet familiar, bright and in your face, yet subtle and symbolic.
Smell this.
Ooh. At least it's the real thing.
Do you have any use for nail clippers?
No.
I decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was, Bassam had already told me where the sign. Seemed the letters could be moved around. Shame it didn't have the right letters to spell Bassam. I'd have to think of something else. Hey, Nico. I've arrived at Vera Security. It's a pretty seedy outfit.
Great. Anything else?
Not right now.
Well, call back if you find anything.
Help!
What's wrong?
There's a monster
What? Where?
on the floor. Get rid of it.
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach. Help!
Come here, little fella. I was never going to catch. That would have violated the Chemical Weapons Convention. That? Nope. I needed... That would... I was never going to catch it. There was a huge... Romanovs, a Russian brand cigarette. The pack was empty. As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored, very exotic. A crumpled... Hello.
Cockroach! Leave that radio alone and sort this damn cockroach.
The reason for the lady's distress was plain. I tipped out the match. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to... There were crumbs on the floor. I set down my matchbox. Cockroaches like hiding in dark. Cockroach. I refused to torture the little fella, even cockroaches. That was... I was never gonna... The box needed some bait. Could you help me with a vermin problem, please?
I'm sorry. Until I kickstart this business, I don't really have time for ancillary projects. I need a brand. A clear message that grabs my key demographic by the...
Excuse me?
You know, a name that sounds magical and exotic.
Do you know anything...
Not really. I haven't been here long, but neither have they by the looks of it.
Why do you say that?
Rush setup, new sign, low investment, and no customers except for you.
At least the sign's not buzzing.
I know, and I do appreciate. And as it says in all the books, if only it spelled out a whole new world. That would send...
I've got some math.
Always good to have.
He struck me as more of an aftershave kind of... The place looked like it had been out of business for a while. The stall was a bottle stop. She wasn't going to talk to me while... The Vera phone. All expenses had been spared. Even the plant looked depressed. A crumpled cigarette. I didn't want to leave. I considered firing off a quick squirt, but decided the stale smoke would smell. I needed a... I didn't want to leave. Nope. I was never going to catch. The box alone wasn't going to do it. That would have violated. I refused to torture the little fella. Even cockroaches have rights. I needed a better... I was never going... The box alone. The box needed some... That was... That would be pointless. That was... It wasn't the... Now wasn't the... Now wasn't the time to call the security. Annette had her radio on. Sounded like a horse race. I didn't want to stay. There was a huge... Vera's security. I was going to get some answers there. That was almost a great... That would be... The completion note from Vera's security. That would... guy managed to look busy. At least the sign's not...
As I know, and I do appreciate it. And as it says in all the books, if only it spelled out a whole new world, that would send my...
I wasn't going to leave without investigating. The aircon went nicely with the... That was almost... That wouldn't work. I decided to keep... If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was... Nope, They didn't go together. That's... Not a snowball's chance. It didn't work. Never. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Hi, Nico.
Let me guess. You did.
Not right now.
Well,
It wasn't the... Now... That wouldn't work.
Cockroach! Cockroach!
They'd... Never in a month of Sundays. At least the sign's not busted.
As I said, I know and I do appreciate. And as it says in all the books, if only it spelled out a whole new world, that would send.
At least the sign.
As I know and I do appreciate it, but now it just spells nonsense. And as it says in all the books, branding is key. If only it spelled out a whole new world, that would send my business soaring.
Aha. That seemed like a good name. Hey, Bassam, how about this? I know it's not your name, but...
Aladdin. Very cool. That's a terrific name for my store. Hits every one of my USPs.
Glad you like it.
You're a genius, George. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Aha, Mr. Stobart. What can I do for you?
Do you happen to know...
To be honest, George, I'm better at questions on balancing. But as a layman, perhaps I could suggest you trap it? And please, whatever you do, don't squish it.
Why's that?
The entire family will catch the scent and arrive for the funeral.
Ooh, we don't want that.
You need to find a container of some sort. Then I think add this.
Rich tea. What's that, a cookie?
The perfect cockroach biscuit. Dry, dull, unsatisfying, and yet curiously Moorish.
I'll give it a try.
Glad to help.
So what are you selling?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. I sell all those things you can't get anywhere else in Paris.
Like...
English biscuits, Turkish delight, French cassettes, Brazilian Betamax videos.
What do you think?
I'm over the moon, George. Thanks to you, I can now sell my retro cavalcade of musical cards, brushes, souvenirs. And you know what they say, happy sellers make happy shoppers.
He struck me as more of a... I really like your new sign.
It's magnificent. I owe you one.
The box alone. I added some bait to the matchbox. Even I was finding it hard to resist that little trap. Gotcha!
You are a gentleman and no mistake. I hate cockroaches.
Always ready to help a damsel in distress.
I bet you are. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Do you know if there's anyone in the office I can talk business with?
Yes, me, chérie. I'm Annette, the manager.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... The gloves. I just thought...
Ah, easy mistake to make. If you haven't been reconstructed, that is.
Oh, but I have been reconstructed. A number of times. From the ground up. The office...
Look, do you mind not touching the office equipment?
Annette's peripheral vision was quite...
Yes.
There's been a theft at Le Lézard Bleu. A painting's been stolen.
Shame. Still, I'm sure you'll get over it.
I believe your company set up the security.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Oh, yes, you did.
Didn't.
Did.
I've got all day.
But I didn't. Annette, could I just have a quick look in your back office?
What do you take me for?
What? No. I mean, can I look in there?
Oh, I see. No, you can't. It's private.
It says here that Vera was hired to do the security of the gallery. Didn't do a very good job, did you?
Where did you get that?
At the gallery?
That job was signed off. You can't say we were to blame.
I was getting a bad feeling. The place looked like a front, and the only person there wasn't helping. Maybe the office itself could give me more information.
Are you done? Only I want to listen to this next race.
I've got a cookie.
Those dry things are disgusting.
Do you recognize it?
Oof! That would take the hair off your legs. I had a boss who wore that. Know what I mean?
Do these clippers look familiar?
Yes. I mean, no. Why should they look familiar?
I caught the cockroach. Look, isn't he a sweetie?
Ah! Keep it away from me! No, thanks.
I've got some matches.
Yes, I saw you pick them up. Keep them. I can't afford to smoke anymore.
Thanks. Annette had her radio on. That was never... They didn't go together.
Do you mind? I'm listening to the race.
Annette was watching the Veraphone. All that they
Yeah, you've shown me already. Hello, Vera Security, we make you secure. Look, do you...
Annette's
Wrong number again, damn nuisance calls. Hello, Vera Security, we make you secure.
the Veraphone.
Wrong number again, damn nuisance calls.
A quick look revealed that the drawer was empty.
What can I do?
Are you betting on a horse?
No, I just like hearing the sound of hooves.
Oh, well, that's unusual.
Don't be an idiot. I got 50 euros on Lucky Break.
Ah, well, I hope you win.
So do I, chérie. So do I.
Thanks.
Hello, Vera Security, we make you secure. Wrong number again, damn nuisance calls.
I wanted to see what secrets the... Nothing else. A very bad photo of Lane and Annette.
Yes?
Thanks.
Yes?
Recognize this?
Hey, that's my photo.
That's you with Lane, I believe.
So, what if it is?
What is he to you?
Oh, my Hector, that's what he is. My little Hector.
Yeah, I thought you said you had nothing to do with the gallery.
Look, here's how it is. I've only been here a few weeks. I had nothing to do with that gallery job. I just delivered the paperwork.
So, who was the manager before you?
I don't know. She just, one day, didn't come in for work. I shouldn't be talking to you. The boss told me to keep my mouth shut.
The boss. Have you got his number or address?
No, I've forgotten it. I mean, I never knew it.
Annette, a serious crime has been committed. You're in a lot of trouble.
I had nothing to do with it. Look, I need this job. I need the money. Anyway, it's only a silly old painting. No one got hurt.
The gallery owner was shot.
Badly?
Yeah, he's pretty dead.
Oh.
This is a murder investigation. Now, who's your boss?
I don't know. Honest, he faxes me if he wants anything.
He. Who's he?
I've never seen him, never met him. Don't make trouble for poor Annette.
Thanks. I was pretty sure Annette had told me all she was going to. She sounded scared. Time to put the thumbscrews on Lane, and I knew just how. I didn't want to...
Aha!
I caught the cockroach, look!
Excellent work. Just don't let it loose near my stall. In a few weeks, this place is going to be buzzing with people, I hope, not vermin.
I think I'll keep him. I'll name him Trevor.
Interesting name. Old school, comforting, harmless. I can see you're quite a strategic thinker, George.
Do you recognize these two people?
Never saw the big guy before, but the lady works opposite.
Have you seen anyone else in the Vera office?
No, but I haven't had my shop here long, only a couple of days.
That cookie did the trick.
Right customer, right product. It's a winning combination.
So...
Stop by now and then.
No kidding? Do you have any...
Nail clippers? The pocket knife's little brother.
Yeah, I like that. He struck me as more... I decided if Bassam knew how flimsy this... Thank you for the...
You're very welcome.
I've got some...
Always good.
Hi, Nico.
Let me guess. You've discovered something else?
Well, it looks like the lady that works at Vera is friendly with Lane.
No accounting for taste. Anything else?
The back office of Vera Security might be worth looking at, but I can't do it with Annette here.
Let me know if you find anything interesting.
I'm going to try and find Lane. I'll tell you what he has to say. Take care. Time to confront Lane. The gallery was sealed off. The place looked empty. Lane wasn't exactly easy to miss, and it looked like he wasn't around. It was something about it looked... Hi.
Monsieur?
I'm looking for Mr. Lane. Has he been here?
Ah, yes, monsieur. He came by earlier. Told me he was off to console Henri's widow. I hope she's out.
The waiter stared passively. Hi.
Monsieur?
Smell this.
This is a café, monsieur, not your boudoir.
You want a cookie?
You misunderstand the concept of the café, monsieur.
Look what I've got.
Monsieur, please. If the health inspector sees that, I'll be closed down.
What do you think of these matches?
I prefer a lighter.
Do you want to use these clippers?
No, monsieur, I keep a very strict manicure schedule.
I found this piece of wire.
That is remarkable. You just found something like that? Who would discard something as useful as a piece of wire?
I had a feeling the waiter was being sarcastic. What can you tell me about Vera Security?
I've never heard of it.
Do you recognize...
She was here the other night with Lane. They sneaked away to the gallery together, without paying their bill.
My suspicions of Lane were mounting, but I didn't really think he had it in him. Are you sure Lane's gone to visit Henri's widow?
Yes, that's what he told me.
I had no reason or... So Lane was consoling the widow. What a big heart that guy had. Did he have a grand scheme or just loose morals?
Hello?
This is George Stobart. May I come up?
I'm sorry, this is a very inconvenient time. Come back later.
I know that's you, Mr. Lane. I need to talk to you. Mr. Lane, does the name Annette mean anything to you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I need to talk to Madame Dubois.
I'm sure it can wait.
Mm-hmm. If you don't let me in, I'll tell the police about your interesting connection to the security company.
All right then. Come up, but make it brief.
Dear Lord, George, you have the worst timing.
Is this a bad time to accuse you of lying?
What do you want?
I've just come from Vera Security.
So?
What do you know about the owner of Vera Security?
I've never had the pleasure.
Tell me about Annette.
Who?
From Vera Security.
I don't know any Annette.
I'm surprised you let your conquests keep souvenirs.
Oh. Where did you get that?
Annette lent it to me.
Quit waving it around, for God's sake.
Come on, Lane. Tell me about Annette.
All right, all right. I had a fling with her, okay? Now keep your voice down, please.
And you two fixed the security for the robbery?
No, nothing like that. Anyway, the fling was a mistake. She turned out to be rather needy.
I believe you. You're not a criminal, just a lecherous old man.
Less of the old, if you don't mind. As it happens, I make a lot of women happy.
Especially when you leave them. Can you tell me anything?
Annette told me he's some angry-looking Russian chap.
Okay, Lane. Take off.
You can't tell me what to do.
You want me to show Bijou this picture?
All right, I'm going. You haven't heard the last of me, Stobart.
Promise?
And give me that photo.
If Lane was telling the truth, that meant that Annette was lying. She said she'd never met the owner and was very keen to get rid of me. I wondered if she was hiding something interesting in that back office.
Are you going to introduce yourself properly?
Pleased to make your acquaintance, madame. My name's George Stobart.
Call me Bijou. Hello, young man. Such a delight to have a new visitor. What can I do for you?
I'm from the insurance company. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Henri, my poor sauvage. He died in his prime.
Could I just ask you a few questions?
Well, why not? A little company might just pep me up, as you Americans might say.
Your record player seems to be stuck on the same song.
Yes, this song gives me great comfort. It reminds me of Henri.
Can you tell me about the gallery? Was the business doing well?
The gallery was Henri's baby. He never spoke to me about it.
So you weren't involved?
Not at all. Business is not my thing.
Henri was very brave at the gallery. He tried to stop the thief and paid the ultimate price.
Henri was my lion and my little pussycat.
How are you coping?
I'm still trying to take it in, chérie.
Bijou, I think someone involved with the gallery helped the thief. It wasn't Hector Lane. He's not devious enough.
But who else?
I don't know. But I will get to the bottom of it, I promise you.
Why do you show that to me?
Do you know this company, Vera Security?
No, I don't. I've never heard of them. So?
Rich tea?
Why is it broken?
I was feeding it to a cockroach.
I think perhaps I'll pass. Why do you show that to me?
Hey, this might cheer you up. Say hello to Trevor.
A cockroach?
I prefer the word pal.
And I prefer the word pest. Please never show it to me again.
Does this smell good to you?
It's heavenly, isn't it? Henri loved it.
Thank you for your help, Bijou.
My pleasure, young man. Do come back any time.
Bijou appeared to know nothing. I still couldn't discount Lane. Annette, on the other hand, had lied about Vera Security's owner.
Chérie, please don't touch my...
You have a...
Oh. Please don't touch my things.
The view through to the Bois de Boulogne was stunning. America is my... The subject stared casually out at the world. The subject looked vulnerable as she clasped... A subtle birthmark was the only blemish in the model. The artist was entering his cubist phase. Two lovers entwined. Reminded me of that party game with the Met. Henri was now dressed in a cheap suit. On balance, I preferred the waistcoat. Henri was now dressed... That wasn't worth... Never... That would be... That was almost a great... Night was falling. Annette would have left for the evening. It was time to pay a visit to Vera Security. The empty mall was lit by bright moonlight, the perfect ambiance for a little detective work. I wanted a good look at that back office. I just had to find a way in. Rearranging the sign had been a stroke of genius, even if I do say so myself. There was no way I could force the shutter open with my bare hands. I needed to find another way. That would... The empty box had been left out overnight. No one would have wanted to steal it. That... It wasn't fair to wake Nico. Mr. Rickenbacker, I've got some new information.
Stobart, what the hell are you phoning me for?
I'm at Vera's security.
You know what time it is? Surely anything you have to tell me can wait till the morning. Do us both a favor. Get some rest. We can talk about this in the morning.
There was an electrical box up there, but I couldn't reach it from the ground. I popped the lid open. Inside was an aircon unit and, bingo, the master controls for the shutters. The wire connected the shutter motor to the master controller. It was the power supply. It was the master control. The aircon blade was exposed. I was glad it wasn't. The aircon blade was exposed. The wire connected the power supply. The wire connected the shutter motor to the master control. That didn't. That was close. The wire was live. It was the master controller. It was the power supply. I'd cut the wire in half. I hoped I was doing the right thing. I'd cut the wire in half. That was the wire was live. In the drawer was a single Q-tip. It was my lucky day. It hadn't been used. The room was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. That... Well, it seemed like a... In the corner of the room was a pizza delivery scooter, just like the one the killer had escaped on. Oil had dripped from the scooter onto the floor. There was a letter jammed in the shredder. The shredder was jammed. I tried to free the gears, but they were jammed solid. Its service was long. There was a letter jammed in the... The air vent had a tiny catch on the side. The box was empty. Annette had cleared every... It was a pizza delivery scooter. Nope, I needed to try something else. That was... The shredder... Nope. I needed a... That wouldn't work. There was a letter jammed in the... There was a letter jammed... The letter was partially shredded. The gears had seized up. Never... Well, it seemed like a good idea. I only had a few matches. Using one... I fed Trevor a crumb. He loved that biscuit. That wouldn't make any sense. I smeared some oil onto the cotton bud. I smeared the gears with oil. It was time to see what was in the letter. I grabbed the paperclip. It was the letter from Henri confirming that Vera Security had the contract for the exhibition. And it also revealed who was in charge at Vera. A guy called Medovsky. At first glance, it all seemed pretty run-of-the-mill. But why was Henri thanking Medovsky for being generous? And why was he pleased to represent him? Maybe Medovsky was the owner we'd been looking for. It didn't add up. I had a gut feeling. There was something fishy going on. The air vent had a tiny catch on the side. The paperclip was perfect for the job. There was definitely something in there. Now, what are you... Gotcha. Well, would you believe it? It was a gun. And very likely the one that had been used to shoot Henri.
Aha! So, what have we here? L'Américain, Monsieur Stobart. You will rue the day you crossed my path, because now you are caught in my net like a little red herring.
Inspector, I'm investigating the robbery.
No, monsieur. You are breaking and entering an innocent storeroom.
I found the murder weapon.
Found? No. Planted? Yes. Moo, arrest this man and take him to the station. I shall squeeze you, Monsieur Stobart, until your pips squeak.
Thanks, Ronnie. I just wish I'd got some better shots of the killer.
Are you kidding? That stuff from the hip, very dramatic. You did good, Nico.
So, what's next?
Get me an interview with the owner, and you've got Sunday's front page.
I'm on it already.
Keep me up to speed. Let me know before you write anything up, okay?
Of course. Oh, gotta go. Someone at the door. Monsieur?
Are you Nicole Collard?
Yes, can I help you?
I need to sit down.
You'd better come in. It was my computer. I'd already chosen the best photo for my article. Would you like a glass of wine?
Yes, those stairs are a nightmare. That's better.
So, what can I do for you, monsieur?
My name is Tiago Marquez. I saw your report on the robbery. I found your address. I came straight away. I needed to see you.
And why is that?
The stolen painting, La Malédiction. It belongs to me.
Ronnie had wanted me to interview the owner, and now here he was. Or rather, He was somebody who claimed to be the owner. So the stolen painting is yours. Tell me more.
La Malediction belonged to my family in Catalonia in the 30s, before the Civil War.
So what was it doing here in Paris?
The fascists stole it in 1938. They killed my father, but not me. I escaped. I have been looking for it ever since. You have to help me find it.
Did you lose all your family in the Civil War?
When they came for us in 38, I fled with my mother. But my father was not so lucky.
I'm sorry.
I would have stayed and fought for freedom, but I was just a boy.
Tell me about yourself.
I am Tiago Marquez, the rightful owner of La Malediction. What else is there to tell?
You traveled all the way from Catalonia?
No, since the war, I've lived in France, in the southwest. And now I want the painting back.
You've got my attention, but if I'm to help you, I need more to go on.
I have something. This old photograph. It is of me and my family. See the painting above the fireplace?
Yes, it's La Malediction. The photographs suddenly appeared to link the old man to the painting.
You took the photographs at that robbery, huh?
I did, yes.
I need to see them.
Why?
Please, I must see them.
All right. Here they are. This one was rejected. George got in the way. Typical.
Who is this George?
Just a friend. He insured the painting.
So, he will know who is this liar who claims to own my painting.
I don't think he does. He would have told me. This is the best shot I took. They used it in the paper.
Yes, it is how I recognize La Malediction, my painting.
It does look like the one in your photograph.
So close, but now it is lost again.
Here's the thief making off with the painting.
What is that tattoo on his arm?
Looks like a skull and crossbones. Headhunters,
You will find him, and then you will find my painting.
I can try, monsieur.
You must, mademoiselle.
This shot didn't come out too well.
It's perfect.
Perfect?
Finally, La Malediction in all its splendor. The lines, the color, the detail. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Then take it. That shot is no good to me.
Really? Thank you, mademoiselle.
That tattoo is really quite distinctive.
Yes, but that is all there is to go on.
No. So you are certain that this is the same painting?
Of course,
In front of Georges is Henri, the gallery owner. Marquez's story was very interesting, but I needed to corroborate it. I wondered if the gallery kept ownership records. And while I didn't wholly trust him, this was the one lead that I didn't want to lose. Where are you staying?
What? Nowhere. Here, perhaps.
I didn't want him to stay in my apartment. There was another solution. My neighbor is out of town for a few days. You could stay there.
Yes, that would be good. Thank you.
Great. Let's go. Adam said that he would leave the spare key under the mat. My neighbor had left a key for me under the doormat. Which reminded me I hadn't watered his plants for a week. The key wasn't there. The gap was wide, but not wide enough for my fingers. Using the sticky chewing gum, I was able to fish out the key. The door was locked.
This will do.
Glad it's up to standard. I have to go out, monsieur. Ronnie had promised me the front page if I got an interview with the painting's owner. And here was a crazy Spaniard claiming to be just that. I needed to find out who had put the painting up for sale. Maybe there was more to find at the gallery. Len was sitting outside the cafe. He looked dazed. Hello, Monsieur Len.
Ah, the delectable Nicole Collard, super sleuth. How may I be of service?
I was hoping I'd find you here.
Always available for a lovely lady such as yourself.
Henri's death, it must be so very hard for you.
Yes, I shall miss him deeply. We had such a very special relationship. The loss is so hard to endure, even for a man of such inner strength as myself.
What do you know about the owner of La Malédiction?
That was Henri's business. He found the painting and did the deal with the owner.
Would anybody else know anything about the owner?
Not likely. He kept especially quiet about that one. But he always kept a manifest for every exhibition.
I'm writing a follow-up piece on the gallery theft.
Ah, so you need an inside view. Authoritative.
Something like that.
The police have finished in the gallery. We could chat in the office. It's much more comfortable. More intimate. I might even be able to rustle up a little bottle of champagne.
Maybe later. I have some things to do first.
Maybe next time,
then. I managed to get chewing gum stuck on my press card.
What a bizarre turn of events.
That's what I thought. You mentioned a manifest. How would one get a look at that?
One might start in the office. That's where Henri kept most of his paperwork.
About the guy.
Of course, my dear.
That sounds great.
We can discuss.
But it was my best hope. So, what are we...
After you, my dear.
The place was heaving with junk. Finding what I wanted wouldn't be easy. As Lane sat down, something stuck out from beneath the cushion. It looked like a folder. Whatever it was, the police had missed it. I needed to get it.
Come, join me on the couch. I'm ready for you. You will be gentle with me, won't you?
Oh, I'm never gentle, Monsieur Lane.
Oh. Do call me Hector.
The calendar was marked with the date of the exhibition. The gallery looked empty. There was nothing in Henri's. It was an old. I couldn't search the depth. Henri had a statue of himself. It was Narcissus.
Come, sit down.
Lane hadn't noticed the folder. With that amount of padding, who would? The only way to get hold of it was to distract him. Monsieur Lane?
Hector, please.
So you really don't know who?
I'm sorry, my dear, I really don't.
I see Henri had a statue of himself.
Yes, for a man of high aspiration, he had alarmingly low taste. Nevertheless, I shall miss him. We were like family.
What will happen to this place now?
Henri's widow will decide, poor soul. She may find it in her heart to keep me around.
Oh, I'm sure she will. Is there anything you can tell me about the painting?
It was an absolute treat to come across it, a true undiscovered gem.
There's no denying it is a fantastic painting. What can you tell me about the religious significance?
Of course, there is a deep religious symbolism locked within the painting, too. Central to this must be the pantheon of saints.
Oh, Hector. Perhaps I will join you in that glass of champagne.
But of course, champagne, nature's balm in troubled times.
To new friends.
To love. Oh, mon Dieu, that is so cold!
Oops, silly me. I am so sorry.
I'll have to dry this off. Don't you worry, my dear.
In the folder was a list of all the paintings in the exhibition. La Malediccio had to be there. It was. And next to it was the owner's name, Mr. Medovsky. The police had obviously not spotted the folder. I put it back. I had what I needed for my story. Monsieur Lane, thanks for everything. But I think I hear my editor calling.
Ma chérie, no need to leave so soon. It's only a little spillage.
And I found out who claims to own La Malediccio. Some guy named Medovsky. Sounds Russian, right?
Medovsky, my God.
Who is he?
He's new on the oligarch block. Fresh into London from Russia, with ambition and a bloody reputation. Collard, this is way over your head. I'm gonna put a more experienced crime journalist on the story. I can't afford for you to get hurt.
Relax, Ronnie. This is my story. Leave it with me. Let's discuss it over lunch tomorrow.
Okay. But don't do anything more. See you tomorrow.
Ronnie didn't trust me on this story, but I wasn't going to let him give it to someone else. I was going to have to move fast. Come in. Hi, Georges. Great to see you. How did it go over at Vera?
Hope you don't mind me just dropping in.
No, not at all.
Pretty good. I found the gun that was used in the robbery.
I'm impressed.
Yeah? Well, Nave wasn't. He accused me of trying to plant it, and then of being involved in Henri's death. Then he threw me into a cell. He couldn't make it stick, of course, so he had to let me go this morning. But he's convinced I'm involved. So if I put a foot wrong, he'll nail me next time. But, hey, on the bright side, have I got a story for you. Annette, the manager at Vera Security, lied about the owner of the company. When I pieced together that shredded letter, I got a name, Medovsky.
Medovsky! That's the same guy who claims to own La Malediccio.
What? He owns the painting and Vera Security? He has to be the one behind this whole scam.
You're telling me? We have to be sure.
What the?
I cannot sleep on that bed. It is too soft.
Josh, this is Senor Marquez.
Nice to meet you.
So you are this George, huh?
Senor Marquez is staying in the apartment across the hall. Apparently, he's the real owner of La Malediccio.
What? I thought you said Medovsky was the owner.
Senor Marquez claims the painting was stolen from his family during the Spanish Civil War.
Really? Do you have any proof?
Senor Marquez, could you show him the photograph?
Who is this?
My father. When they came for us in 38, I fled with my mother. But my father was not so lucky.
Who's this?
My mother, a good woman, a saint.
How can we prove this is you as a child?
The dates would tie up, George.
You're certain this is you?
Senor, I do not lie.
A pair of statues stood on plinths on the mantelpiece. That's definitely La Malediccio hanging on the wall?
It belonged to my family, so it belongs to me.
If the painting really was stolen during the 1930s, then this Medovsky guy has no legitimate claim to it. But how can I be sure that you're the boy in that picture?
I can prove it. Look at my father in the photograph. You see the medallion he's wearing? He gave it to me just before he died. This medallion has been in our family for hundreds of years.
It's definitely the same medallion. A snake eating its own tail. That's also on the painting.
It is the Ouroboros.
The what?
The Ouroboros. It is a sign of my people, my family, my faith. The Gnostics. My father was a Gnostic leader. La Malediccio is sacred to the Gnostics. Hence they both display the Ouroboros.
A priest I met said the painting was the devil's work. A thing of evil.
Ha! He would say that. Do not believe all you hear from the church. Whatever you think, the painting is mine.
If Marquez was the true owner of Malediccio, then Medovsky had no legal claim to it. Might be tough to prove, but if I could, we wouldn't have to pay out on the insurance. So, if the painting belongs to you, how did Medovsky get it?
The fascists stole it. It went to Madrid, then Berlin, then, after the war, to Moscow. After that, it was lost, until now.
We need to talk to this Medovsky, but how do we find him? Smell this.
Oh, zut alors, I had an uncle who used to wear that. Maman told me to watch out for him.
Senor Marquez,
Yes, George?
what do you think of this?
I would not use it to clean my shoes, monsieur.
Well, to be honest, neither would I. So, La Malediccio belongs to your family?
It did. Once it was stolen, I did not believe I would ever see it again.
You must have been excited to see the painting again.
It was a miracle.
You mentioned the Gnostics. What can you tell me about them?
It is not important. A religious sect, that is all. My family were Gnostic. They were a peaceful, good people.
You want a cookie, Senor Marquez?
No, it has been in your pocket and is falling to pieces.
Hey, Senor Marquez, meet Trevor.
He is a cockroach in a box.
He's my new pet. I'm getting rather attached to him. I don't suppose you have any use for a match.
Why would I?
I'm pretty surprised this cookie is held up so well in my pocket.
Gotta work on the small talk, George.
Hey, Nico?
Yes, George?
Hey, Nico. Have I introduced you to Trevor?
Oh, get that horrible thing away.
So let's go over what we know about the thief.
Okay, well, he had a distinctive tattoo on one arm.
And his helmet had Waterloo Motors across it.
Not a lot to go on.
What do we know about this Medovsky character?
Ronnie said he was dangerous and very rich. He claims to be the owner of La Malediccio.
And appears to be the boss of Vera's security who were supposed to protect it. Now that kind of figures. The best way to steal something is to get hired to look after it. But why steal a painting you already own?
We need to talk to this guy.
To do that, we need to find him. You said the thief had a tattoo.
On his arm, it was a skull and crossbones with headhunters written around it.
We need to track down Waterloo Motors.
Have you tried the internet?
I've been kind of busy.
Okay, let's have a look. Waterloo Station, Battle of Waterloo, Waterloo Kebabs, Waterloo Sunset. Ah, here we go. Waterloo Motors. It's a garage in London. I'll send the number to your phone.
Senor Marquez.
Yes, George?
Do you need to borrow my nail clippers?
I prefer to bite my nails, monsieur.
I found this paper clip. It's gotta be useful for something.
I imagine if you have any paper you need clipped.
I found some evidence that ties Henri to the dodgy security company.
That doesn't surprise me. It sounds as though the whole thing was set up.
Nico?
Yes?
I found the gun that Henri...
If Madosky owns Vera Security...
Well, it can't be Annette, but she has to be... Why would...
Insurance?
I get the impression that Henri was somehow involved. So, what...
Yes, I sent you that.
Do you want to borrow these...
Word of advice, George. Never say that on a first date.
Why would anybody want to...
Who knows? Just keep it away from me.
What do you think of this, Nick?
Not much, George.
This paperclip is bound to come in.
Well, you've surprised me before, Jean.
You hungry, Nico?
No, thanks.
What do you think of this?
I don't know.
Here's the proof that Henri was involved in the robbery.
Interesting, but it doesn't help us find the killer.
The letter mentioned a guy called Madonna. Nico had found Nico's trash can. No surprise there. Mr. Rickenbacker, I've got some new information.
What now, Stobart?
I've got some interesting news to tell you.
Out with it.
I found a shredded letter that seems to implicate Henri and some guy named Medovsky.
Well, that's one piece of good news.
I met a guy called Marquez who claims to be the original owner of the painting.
So, I could claim to own it too.
This guy has a photo of it from his childhood. He's also got a story about how it was stolen from him during the Spanish Civil War.
If that's the case, then the insurance would be invalidated.
That's what I thought.
So dig a little deeper into that story.
Vera's security had disconnected their phone. There was no point.
Waterloo Motors.
Hi,
How can I help you?
my name is George Stobart. I'm investigating a murder that was committed here in Paris.
What's that got to do with us?
The guy we're looking for was wearing a helmet with Waterloo Motors on it.
Oh, yeah. It's a very popular helmet.
I don't suppose you know who might have bought one?
Well, not unless you've got any more information, mate.
The killer had a tattoo on his arm. It said, Headhunters.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, he bought one of our helmets just the other day.
Terrific. Do you know his name?
Nah. He brings his boss's Merc here to have it serviced. Word to the wise, though. I hear he don't mess about. The car's registered on Dutchy Street, if there's any help. I mean, that's all I know, mate, sorry.
No, that's more than enough. You've been a great help. Thanks for your time.
See ya.
Bingo!
Good work. That has to be the guy. And now we've got his address.
How about a trip to London?
I thought you'd never ask. Senor Marquez, will you be okay here?
The bed is uncomfortable, but it will do. Come back quickly with the painting, eh?
London cabbies. Gotta love them.
This is the place. Here on the right. To afford a place like this in London, you've got to be good at something. So, we clear on how we're going to do this?
Yeah, we're two insurance investigators, see? We finagle our way inside, butter Medovsky up, and then get the dirt on it, right?
Finagle?
Yeah, finagle. You remember how to finagle, don't you, Nico?
George, how could I ever forget?
Good, because I suspect we're gonna need major league fanoodling to get this one.
You got it.